All right. Okay, really excited. I'm really, really excited. We are so excited because we have one of our really gorgeous friends from the UK who is going to spoil us with his wisdom and with his humour and his love tonight for Team B. And I'm so excited because when we first met Gordon was at the 39 Club retreat in March in Phoenix, and I accidentally thought he was Dave O'Brien, wrapped my arms around him, gave him, and my legs around him to give him the biggest cuddle in the whole world. He turned around and looked at me and says, "No, I'm not Dave O'Brien." And for those of you who don't know, Dave O'Brien is a desert runner. He's a very beautiful man. But when I met Gordon just had this beautiful heart, and he just said, "That's okay, come on, let's go and have a drink and get to know each other," which is very, very, very common in the Juice Plus business. When you go all the way across the other side of the world, you meet amazing friends, and Gordon is definitely one of those, especially to Trace and I. He became our buddy for the whole conference, and we spent a lot of time with him, getting to know him and getting to know the fact that Gordon's been in this business longer than some of us have been alive, which is really, really exciting. I know, G, I know, but there are 21-year-olds on this call, you know. He's been in the business over 20 years. He's a national marketing director from the UK with a very, very large international team. I would say, I don't even know if you're, 200 club, 300 club, 500 club, but well over and above 100 club. And he's going to just share some wisdom with us tonight. What we're going to do tonight is something a little bit different. We're just going to ask Gordon a few questions, and then at the end we're going to open it up to questions. So, Gordon, how are you?
I'm very good. That was some introduction. I'm impressed.
Well,
it was very hard not to kind of befriend you when you've wrapped your legs around me and all the rest of it. And I don't even know who Dave O'Brien is. No, I'm only joking.
Oh dear. Okay, so first of all, what we wanted to know, we'd love you to share your story with us just really, really quickly, but we wanted to know also what made you look at this business in the first place 25 years ago?
Okay, well, I could probably combine that into my story as well. I don't believe that people look at our business until they're ready in their lives. And I was actually at a crossroads in my life. I trained as an accountant. That's my background. I worked in a computer company, and I was a director of a company. It was kind of full on. It was solid stuff and all the rest of it. And there was something like, what am I doing? There must be something else better than this. I was on a bit of a rat race, get up early in the morning, kind of, never see the kids, go home late at night, never see the kids. And at weekend, I was probably too shattered to see the kids. Do you know what I mean? So that was my kind of life. And a friend of mine actually invited me along to a meeting because two things. First of all, he knew that I was health conscious. And secondly, he knew that I was interested in business and that type of thing. And he invited me along, and just to get my opinion as to a business that he'd got involved with. And that was how it started, really. At the meeting, what he did prior to that, which was quite clever, he showed me and let me try some of the products. So I already had a very much an open mind. And I see this all the time. I see people coming to meetings that haven't tried our products. And when they come to the meeting, their minds aren't completely open because they don't really understand the whole concept behind it. So he did that to me. And I was kind of like, really eager, sat in the front row, didn't have my arms folded. I was leaning forward, listening to the speakers. And there was something that resonated in the back of my head, says, what if this was true? Oh, let me just get rid of that. What if this was true? And, here was a way that I felt that you could actually condense down 40 years worth of work in 3 to 5 years and get the same amount of income. That was my concept behind it. And that was what really excited me. So I went away, full of something that I'd never had before. I was excited. I was enthused. I was really looking around for something. And that was it. I almost went full time straight away in the Juice Plus business. So that was really a bit of the background. And that's the reason why I got involved all those years ago.
And, you know, what's the journey been like over the last 25 years? I find it fascinating because most of us have been in it less than 7 years, especially on this call, because this is my team. But I would love to know what the journey's been like over the last 25 years.
Well, it's interesting actually, because, you know, success is the journey, isn't it? And it depends on where you are in terms of, you know, your life at the moment. Some people come in to our business that, you know, have had no success, are, you know, kind of like down the luck, are kind of really, you know, not personally developed, etc., etc. And their journey is a little bit harder. But that's life, you know what I mean? It's not going to be plain sailing. And in exactly the same way as me, you know, it's been ups and downs. The first two people I kind of sponsored were over 400 or 500 miles away. Now, in Australia, you're probably thinking, well, that's not far, is it really? But in the UK, that is far away, I've got to tell you. And I spent most of my money that I earned commuting up and down to Scotland and to Birmingham. But I was supporting the people that I'd actually introduced. And you know, I remember one time I'm thinking, it's raining, I'm going to do a presentation. What am I doing? Kind of walking around the streets of Birmingham with my laptop showing, you know, somebody that probably doesn't want to see what I'm going to do. And it's those ups and downs that you look back and you think, oh, I remember that. But I got to say that it's a bit like an umbrella, you know, for every up you can put it down again when the sunshine comes out again. And there's been more sunshine than there has been misery in terms of that. But I think if I look back on it, this is just an accelerated game of life. You know, we're all going to have ups and downs in our own life, and that's going to happen whether you join our business or not. So, you know, Juice Plus just condenses it down. You know, that 3 to 5 years, you can actually get all these emotions in 3 to 5 years. And what happens is you grow as a person along the way. I'm certainly not the person I was 25 years ago. I'm not even the person I was 10 years ago. Not even the person I was 5 years ago. Not even the person I was a year ago. And that's I see that the happiness. And, you know, I've made loads of friendships along the way. I don't know whether you know my story, but I met my wife at a Juice Plus meeting. And this is very interesting. I met her at a conference, and I was going through a divorce at the time, and it was very early on in my business. And she was actually going through a divorce at the time. And I said something really strange like, oh, I like your fur. She was wearing a fur coat. We were in Germany in winter. And she thought I was gay. And as a beauty therapist, she'd worked with a lot of gay people in her industry. So she thought, oh, great, I'll befriend Gordon because he's of that ilk. That's fantastic. And it wasn't until about 2 months down the line, she discovered from a friend of hers that I wasn't. And she then started to worry about all the things she told me, all the secrets. So be careful who you meet in this business. And we've now been together for 10 years. She's a national marketing director in her own right, Club 39, and she's kind of moving forward in great things. So, you know, that's what the last 25 years, very synopsis of what it's all about.
And I loved meeting you, and so did Trace. We had so much fun with you. We just know that, you know, the biggest thing in this business is if you're not having fun, you know, you're not doing it right. And, you know, certainly after 25 years, you're still having a lot of fun. So, you know, what do you think has been the greatest gift in the business?
Well, you know, if we look at the kind of the products, first of all, you know, without the products, we've got no business. And that's probably the greatest gift that Jay Martin gives us all. And, you know, if I could actually take all the money that I've got and earned over the last 25 years and actually had the ability to share that with my mum and dad. My mum died at the age of 58. My dad died at the age of 62. If I could share the products and they could still be here, I'd give all the money back. And I think that's one of the greatest things that we've got. I've always led my business from a product point of view. So I've shared the products because I'm passionate about them. I love the products. And, you know, it's the business that really, as a result of the products that we've developed. I mean, I've got to say the company is something that, again, you know, the greatest gift. I mean, where would we ever get a chance to work with a company that's now 45 years old? And I'll go on to speak about that. But, you know, we've got an amazing company. We've got an amazing leader and leadership team within the company. And the people, you know, I've built relationships, not superficial relationships that you build in life when you meet people, but I've met long-lasting relationships that I will have for the rest of my life with people along the way. And that's one of the greatest gifts. If I look at the money and I say, okay, what has the money been able to do? Then between my wife and I, we've got 4 boys, we've got 4 children, and we put them through private education. And, you know, I look back at my life before I joined Juice Plus. I was a, you know, 6 o'clock in the morning till 8 o'clock at night person. I was never around for the kids. My wife brought up the children and all the rest of it. But with Juice Plus, I was able to put them to private education. I was able to actually be on the touchline on a Wednesday afternoon watching them play rugby and doing their sports. And I looked around and I was the only guy on the actual touchline. All the rest were women because all the men were actually working to put their children to private school. And that was one of the things that I look back that Juice Plus has given me. Laterally, my wife and I, and we've created a lifestyle really for our children and ourselves that, I mean, you know, you don't have to have huge amounts of money to create a great lifestyle. It's that energy that you actually have, that you can actually, you know, do things when you want to do it, where you want to do it. I've just come back from Portugal. This tan wasn't in Morocco, by the way. I've just come back from Portugal for the winter. And I don't know whether you kind of watch the winter in the UK, but it always rains. It's horrible. It's really snowy. And in fact, everybody says when they come to London, it rains, you know. So we decided this year that we'd actually move down to Portugal just to see what it was like. And we spent 6 months down there. We've now made an offer to buy a house down there. We've decided that's where we want to be. And the greatest thing is my business has increased in the last 6 months because I haven't been around to mollycoddle people that had to stand up on their own 2 feet. And that's the part of the independent business that I like. You know, people are taking responsibility themselves. So that's what the greatest gifts I think that I can share with you all, really.
And okay, I love that because it is being able to take your business to a completely different place and know that this business can move anywhere you go, I think is a great gift also, especially for our Gen Y on the call. I mean, they can all they need is an iPhone and a laptop and off they go. You know, really that easy now. So what would you say to somebody, Gordon, that was brand new? What would be something that you would share with them if you'd met them for the first time when they were looking at this business, or they just come into the business?
Couple of things. The first thing that I would say, I think you've got to know the facts about the company, and you've got to be totally bulletproof, because I don't know what it's like in Australia, but we've got this kind of mentality in the UK that nobody wants you to really be successful, and they're jealous of your success. So they'll try and neg you out of it. So the first thing that I really kind of understood when I first got involved, let's check out the company, let's get the facts. And here's the facts. We've got a 45-year-old company that's been in existence for that length of time. They've actually turned over $13 billion in sales. And during that time, they've actually put 1 million families through the Children's Health Study, which is free product to families, independent, peer-reviewed scientific studies that back up the efficacy of our products. We're also founder members of the Direct Sales Association, and we're in 27 different countries worldwide. Now, if that wasn't enough in terms of the facts, let me just tell you one more fact that's so important. We found this out in the Phoenix when we were there. The Juice Plus company had their best ever year in 2015. $500 million in 1 year in 2015. Now, if you're joining a company, what's it, $100 down in the state in Oz to join a company? Yeah, $100. You're getting all this for $100. Then the mentality that you've got to have, that you're joining this massive, massive company, you've got to treat it as $100 £100,000 you're investing in the company, and treat it like that. That's what you're going to do. That's the energy you're going to put into it. And that's where you're going to be, kind of effectively positioning yourself. So the first person that says no to you, next, it doesn't matter. Next person that says no to you, next, it doesn't matter. You're looking and you're on a mission to actually find the right people and to actually gather the similar people to you. The next thing I would say, you've got to treat it as I did with a 3 to 5 year game plan. Don't give up for 3 to 5 years. Give yourself that 3 to 5 year commitment and your sponsor. When I first got involved, it was quite interesting. We used to have to write out a commitment to our sponsor and sign it. And the commitment was something like, I promise that I will not give up, along the way for 3 to 5 years, da-di-da-di-da-di-da-di-da. And it was like, wow, and I had to put my name to it. I wish we could do that more and have a contract with our people more, that they would do that. Invest in yourself. I was already into personal development. I love to listen to, all these kind of things. Tony Robbins, I was a fan of his, etc. So, investing in myself was one of the things that I think helped my bulletproofness, if you like. And, model yourself on the successful people. The fact that you've got successful people in Australia. I mean, I met Adam Westlake for the first time on a golf course, funnily enough. And, it was great to see these role models, Natalie and, all the people that are 100 clubs in there. You guys are kind of really, you've got some fantastic role models. Just find out what they do and model them. Get them on Facebook and do what they want. The last thing you need to do is you need to have fun. Because if you're not having fun, no one is going to come into your business. It's like that's the catalyst, it's the cement between the brick. Fun. They look as though they're having a good time. I want to find out what they're doing. And that's exactly what I would recommend to people. Does that make sense?
Yes. Okay, so I've got 2 more questions. And
okay.
I'm not sure which order to do them in because both of them are great questions. What do you think the best success model is for Juice Class right now? So if someone was coming in brand new, what is the best success model?
Listen, you're asking somebody that's going on 61 this year. I'm reinventing myself. I'm putting myself on social media. We've got a huge trend at the moment. In fact, we've got 2 trends at the moment. We've got the nutritional trend that everyone is getting on the bandwagon. And you in Australia, you guys are great because, you're already into nutrition and health and that type of thing. We've taken a long time to catch up on that in the UK, but I think it's coming and that's where we're going. We've also got the social media trend, and that is just absolutely booming at the moment. And, I sat on the plane with 25 other PMDs coming back from Marrakesh. And I sat next to Simon Bowler, who's our regional sales director in the UK. And he said that he was looking at the payroll kind of for this month. And there were 15 people sitting on that plane that were earning over £30,000 a month. 15. None of them had used the traditional network marketing methods that I had used to build my business. And they'd overtaken me in less than 3 to 5 years. So if you've got 21-year-olds there, the social media way of actually kind of building your business, you've got a mass market opportunity where, you can touch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,000 people with one post. You can actually kind of, get to different people. You can target audiences and really get down to the kind of nitty gritty. And, my wife and I, we're really kind of reinventing ourselves to actually get on board this, if you like, social media kind of revolution that's going on and take advantage of it. We're not going to get away from our traditional kind of methods and core methods because, that's how we've been built up. And our business is built on capsules. 95% of my check I know every month because I've got repeat orders coming through. I've got no one-off orders that are going to disappear in 4 months' time. A lot of my orders are completely repeat capsule businesses. And that's, been my pension, if you like, along the way because I know exactly what I'm going to be earning. So I hope that answered that question, actually.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is that what we're finding now is that people have so many choices in the way that they do their business. And we've always been taught to do the business the way that feels best for you.
Yeah.
You know, and, you know, I'm very much like you, Gordon. I love the premium pack. Like, I just love selling the premium pack. I know that's a repeat order for 4 months, and I love that. But I also know that, you know, when you add that complete in there as a double order, it's just an incredible formula for success for people. And I think the best way to do that sometimes is by a nutritional plan, or maybe so if someone's got something around in the area of social media, they can really showcase something like that in social media. And I mean, some of the girls in my team are just doing a fabulous job on social media. It really is a wonderful, wonderful tool. So, I mean, sitting in front of someone or doing it on social media, as long as at the end of the day, when you are reaching out to people on social media, you are actually meeting up with them and having a chat with them personally or on the phone, I think it's perfect.
Yeah. One of the things that I picked up on the plane, again, speaking to one of the girls on social media, she's 23 years old. And I said, could you just add me into one of your groups? So she added me in literally from Friday. So I've watched the group develop from Friday till Sunday, or the Monday now we are. And she set 15 tasks for every single person to do in that group. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. One of them was to reach out to 10 people that you haven't spoken to for a long time and just meet them for a coffee. Don't mention about Juice Plus, don't mention about anything. I did this over the weekend, and my diary is filled up for the next 4 days with people that are just kind of like contacting me and said, yeah, Gordon, listen, great. One of them was actually in Dubai, and he's coming back to this UK country. And he said, oh, I saw your trip to Marrakesh. That looked amazing. I said, well, that's funny. I saw your trip to Dubai, hence the reason I kind of contacted him. And I said, we're actually moving there as a company. He said, well, I'll tell you what, I can give you all my contacts if you sponsor me into the business. Wow. And it's just reaching out to those people and talking to them in any kind of form, you know?
Yeah, I think that's a great suggestion. We did this around a table with one of the teams. We sat down and we all reached out to 10 people in half an hour.
Yeah.
And the responses that came back over the next 2 hours, every single person bar one had a response from someone. And it was just sort of pushing ourselves to do something different. I love that.
Yeah.
So last question.
Okay.
What do you see for the future of Juice Plus? Moving forward for the next 5, 10, 20 years, how do you see this company and where do you think it's going?
I think we've only just scratched the surface of it. You know, if Jay Martin is saying that we have got the best year ever in 2015, I'll buy into that. So that means the 24 years that I've done prior to that was just in practice for the next 25 years. And if I look at the ways that we can expand our business, you know, and I put my accountancy hat on and just speak to you a minute about that. What we can do is we can actually build a customer base so we can sell existing products to new customers, okay? We can sell more products. We can get more customers along the way, which increases the sales of existing customers. But the other thing we can do is we can add new products into that range. And I'm sure you hear about what's happening. We've got some new products coming down the line. I sat next to Natalie when they were announcing the omega 3, 5, 7, 6, 9, whatever it was. And she was like jumping up and down in the seat saying there's nothing like this on the planet. Well, just think about the customer base you have. I've got 10,000 customers worldwide. Let's say that 1 in 10 of them, just 1 in 10 of them buy the product. I'm going to get a pay rise in the next 12 months when we release that product. Okay? We're in 27 different countries worldwide. The next country we're going to go to is Dubai. Then that's going to be the gateway to the Asian marketplace, the Far East. Who knows? We're not in any of the major kind of countries that other, companies like ourselves are in. That expansion will be massive. We'll get another pay rise. So it's important to really build up that network, if you like, so you can take advantage of this. I also personally don't think social media is going to go away in the next 5 to 10 years. We're going to have an opportunity to touch and really market people. Nobody wants to be sold to on the internet. And I see that all the time. And I'm very quick to pick up on people that are just plastering out juice plus, juice plus, juice plus. Never works. Whereas if you put yourself out there as the expert, and I know Natalie, you are an expert in terms of nutrition, and I really bow down to that. But that's what we've all got to do. We've got to find, if you like, a brand for us that will actually market. Michelle and I are working on a brand for ourselves as a couple. I don't believe that there are couples out there that are our age. I mean, there's a thing in the UK at the moment that was talking about the bank of mum and dad. It's now the second largest bank in the world. So children that can't afford to get a mortgage, guess where they go? They go to mum and dad. We've got a solution for that, and that's where we're going to put our brand, is down that area where we're going to be the bank of mum and dad. I think that's going to be a great one to go through. And we've got a solution to help people, kind of develop that. So I'm excited about the future. I hope that comes across to everybody. And, I read this article very, very early on about one of the scientific studies, and the scientific study shows that there's a 66% DNA repair when people go on Juice Plus in an elderly population. So that means for any 10-year period, you only age 3.5 years. So I'm actually regressing. I think I'm going backwards. Instead of 61, I reckon I feel like I'm 31. So I've been on Juice Plus for 25 years. So I've only aged, in that time, less than 10 years. And I've been to a school reunion. So I look like the youngest bloke in the school. I just wish I hadn't lost so much hair along the way. That's either here and there. But I'm excited about the future, Natalie. And I hope that, that comes across.
Yeah, and just for those of you who don't know what happened in the US, they actually announced from stage that we're going to have an omega blend. Now, we all know we need fats for our nervous system. We also need nutrition for our immune system. So we're going to be a one-stop shop. We've got an omega-3, 5, 6, 7, and 9 blend coming, all cold-pressed, all nut and seed fat. And it will be a supreme blend. It will be one of the best blends in the world. And I'm super excited because that is a way that we can all give ourselves a pay rise. But it's also a way where we can actually help with the central nervous system and really help with mental health issues. So I'm really excited. Heart health, circulation, everything. So thank you for reminding me to sort of, share that with people, because the future of this company is going to be extremely positive, and I'm super excited. I feel like we're just at the beginning of our journey. So, yeah. G, I want to just open it up to questions. So what I'm going to do is wait for everyone in the chat section below. If anyone's got any questions, do you guys want to just pop them in there? And Gordon will stay on the call now for a few more minutes and just answer some questions for people. 25 years in the business, and you're only aged 10 years in that time.
I know, it's amazing, isn't it? The other thing that I forgot to mention is that I'm actually taking delivery of my tower garden tomorrow.
Oh.
And I am mega excited about that.
Oh, wow.
And the reason I'm excited about it, when I was in Phoenix, I went to a place called the Living Gardens. And there was a guy who was a compound pharmacist, and he's actually got 400 tower gardens in his pharmacy that he supplies products to all the people around the place. He does 5 farmers markets a week. And, the mission statement of the company to is inspire healthy living around the world. Well, this actually substantiates that. And what Jay Martin shared with us is that everybody that buys a tower garden gets on Juice Plus, but not everybody that's on Juice Plus buys a tower garden. Mm. And last year they did 10% of their sales just in the US on tower gardens. So watch this space.
Mm. Well,
I see some questions there.
Yes, there is. So when you have a bad day, do you have a mantra that you say to yourself? Is there something that you share, that you do for yourself?
Yeah. I sack myself. I actually sack myself. And for those of you that probably don't know me, but I'm a massive keen golfer. So you probably see my whole office is kind of surrounded by pictures of golf courses that I ever played. So what I do is I sack myself and I go and play golf for the day, and then I come back and I re-employ myself enthused by the fact that I'm ready to go back to work again. So that's my kind of attitude to having a bad day.
Okay, all right. So Abby, beautiful Abby, an MD in our group, is asking, would love to hear some more tasks that were put up in that group that you talked about. So that Facebook group, what were the other tasks that were being run?
Yeah, there was loads of them. There were things like sort out your Facebook kind of profile, your page, and all the rest of it. Connect with people. Obviously do some more posts, etc. I mean, I can share that with you. I mean, there was so many. There was a brilliant 6-minute clip by Eric Worre about why network marketing. And I'd never seen that before. I mean, I'd listened to a lot of Eric Worre things, but this was a 6-minute clip that he posted up there, which was, wow, that was amazing. And, lots of little different things like that. There was about 19 different little tasks that were up there. Let me see if I can quickly get some up now.
Do you know what, Jay? Do you know that video?
Yeah, I can send them to you.
Yeah, I'd love you to share.
Yeah, a lot of them were connecting with people, doing things, kind of adding yourself to groups, posting in different places, just kind of generally commenting, etc. It was amazing. It was amazing. And this girl last month recruited 10 people from Facebook. And this group that she set up was a result of her team actually doing the same. And she'd actually then got people. It's called Fast Track to STD.
Yeah, right.
And that was just 1 month. Yeah, 1 month.
Okay, someone's asking, what's the biggest change you've seen in the products over 25 years?
In the products? Well, probably the advent of things like Complete, that range, if you like, came on board. That's only just come on board in the last, 6 or 7, 8, 9, 10 years. Vineyard has only been on board for 7 years. Yeah, I remember having a conversation with Smokey Santillo, who's the founder and of the products, and he was actually telling me he gave the formulation to Juice Plus at the same time as he did the fruits and veg, but the company decided just to stage release it, not to kind of go forward from that point of view. And I think that's great because at least we had a chance to understand what the products were all about, and then you can add all these different parts into it. And I think, as you said before, I see people now selling and marketing packages more than anything else. So it's not just about, hey, listen, if you're going to go down the health kick, don't just take Fruit Juice Plus. Let's put a package together so it's an all-round opportunity to increase your health. So, those were the things that I see over the years. And I mean, the products get better and better and better as far as I'm concerned. And thank goodness, I've been taking them.
Yeah. All right. Well, we don't have any more questions, but we're also run out of time.
Okay.
But I just want to say thank you so much, Gordon. It's really lovely to hear someone from the other side of the world who's been in the business for a very long time share all of this with us. And it just makes a lot of sense to stay in the game for a long time and just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and it will work out for everyone if that's what you're going to do. So I just want to say thank you, and thank you for our friendship. I owe you a call now. So thank you.
I get Tracy as well?
Yes.
I know.
You want Tracy as well? You can have Tracy as well. It'll be a lot of fun then. So thank you, Gordon. And you know what? If anyone has got any questions, they can just private message me or Tracy, and we will private message you if that's possible.
Yeah, and if you want to send me a friend's request, we can actually add myself into Facebook or whatever else, then I'm happy to do that.
Oh, thank you, Gordon.
Thanks, Gordon.
Okay, guys. Well, thank you for a beautiful call. Don't forget tonight, 8 o'clock, Dr. Tamara Hunter, Science of Juice Plus, and for anybody on this call who 8:30 call, there is also a product call that we're doing. If you know about both of those, they're on Team B. Thanks, Gordon.
Bye.